Good evening, everyone. I am Sensei Kevlar. Let's look at some charts tonight. Tonight we are going to open with ARC BTC. ARC BTC is a good one. Definitely made some money on this one earlier in the year. Let's start by going back a little bit in history. We'll take a look at a 4-hour chart. I'm just going to pull that up really quick to take a look at the historicals on this one. The first thing I want to do is I want to go in and I want to find all of those historical support and resistance points. So here we can see the market opened, it came up, touched that point right there. Sorry, I'm just going to make him a different color. Touched that point right there. Then it came down and touched that point right there. Then it went up, came up to there, then it came down and came down to our previous level. Love it. Okay. Then it went up to here, came back down, came to right here. Look at where it came down to. Previous resistance. Now support. Then it came up and found resistance. Then it went down, found support right here. Let's put that line in. Okay. After that, it took a little journey upward. We'll put more lines in right there because we can definitely see a resistance point right there. Finally, it took a massive spike all the way up to there. You can see when it was coming down, it definitely found resistance support right there. We can see that definitely being a correlated line. And I'd say right there is definitely a correlated line. We saw resistance coming up twice. And look at where we're at. Oh, it's sort of a beautiful chart. One of those really easy ones to follow, where the lines just all fall nicely into where you want them to. All I did was touch points where I found, another technique for doing this is if you're looking at your cursor and you're dragging your chart up and you see a point where it comes across, where you see a point where it starts to turn around, look at your crosshairs, look at your dotted lines from your crosshairs, look over to the right. Is that line also intercepting another point at which it turned around? Another point at which it turned around? Another point at which it turned around, turned around, turned around, turned around, turned around, turned around? If so, then this is a valid trend line. This is a valid pivot line. This is a valid point at which the market pivots. If not, keep looking. Keep looking. Trace your mouse along. Look for another place where it intercepts. Come right here and say, well, now look to the right. Over here. Does it intercept with another point? Yes, it does. It's a valid line. Okay. So, what can we have done? Let's say that we bought our, one position right here and we think it's maybe going to turn around because it's looking like it's going to take a nice bounce right here. Then it comes back down and we buy a couple more positions all the way down to here. If we sold out at this point, we could have bought them back cheaper. If we sold out at this point, we could have bought them back cheaper. Maybe we didn't get to sell it out a third time before it came back down. You had to double up or triple up or quadruple up here, but you would have made all your money right here, guys. This strategy works on this market. The dollar cost averaging strategy very, very much works on this market. Here's what you need to be careful of, though. If you're buying your one position here, you need to be careful that you can go 2x, 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 2x. Try it out on paper. Find out. Make sure that you have all the money that you need to be doing 2x all the way down, 3x all the way down, 4x all the way down. Now, if you get down to the bottom here, say you started up here and, man, you're just buying down the market as it goes away from you. You start up here and you get all the way down here. You're satisfied because you've got enough money to get all the way down here and be buying the whole time. Do you have anything left over for anything else in your portfolio? Or is this where all of your money is right now? If this is where all your money is right now, then you are not diversifying. The whole point of planning the trade allows you to see that you're spending too much money getting down to this point. Maybe you don't want to spend that much money getting down to this point. Maybe instead of 4xing, you only want to 3x. Maybe what you want to do is you want to skip a few lines. What if we skip that line and that line? What if we skip this line? Well, previously where I was 2xing, 3xing hard, now I'm doing it much, much less often. Much, much, much less often. Can I still make my money? Absolutely. Not as much, maybe. But maybe you don't have as much portfolio. Do you want to be allocated with 50% of your portfolio, 80% of your portfolio in this opportunity at this market? Well, I don't think so, because how are you going to go make your money somewhere else if this market goes away from you? This market could go away from you. This market could die. This coin could disappear, and that would be that. And if you're allocating 80% of your portfolio at the bottom of this market right here, and then it goes away from you, well, you just plan to lose 80% of your portfolio on a single trade. Try doing the math differently. Try allocating 1% of your portfolio at the bottom of this market, and then work your way backwards. If you allocate 1% of your portfolio at the bottom, that means that you know how much you need to start at the top, and how much you can double, triple, quadruple down, and how many times you can do that before you get down here and you've got 1% of your portfolio bought into this opportunity. Well, if you have 1% of your portfolio bought into this opportunity, that means 99 more opportunities are available to you. That's what planning is about. Finding this out on paper is the only way to go. Finding this out after the fact, after you've got too much money in this market, it's a terrible way to go, and I don't recommend it. Find out on paper how this would have affected your portfolio long before you spend any money to find out that you spent too much money up here, or right here, or right here. Next up, Zen, Z-E-N, Zencash, BTC, you got it. What an exciting, I'm not going to cheat, can't cheat, don't cheat. Let's do the same thing. Come down here, find the first place that it turned around at. I'd say it's right there. Came back up, turned around right there. Came down, turned around. Came down again. Finally busted through the support line. Found new support down here. Then it found new support down here. Then when it was time to go up, where did it find resistance? At the support line. Found resistance at the support line. Then it was trying to go up. Where did it find resistance? At the support line. Support, resistance. Support, resistance. If you had bought one position here, could you have sold it here, bought it back, sold it here? Certainly. If you had waited and seen this and then bought it here, could you have sold it off coming up here? Well, maybe you needed to double up on your one position down here, but oh my goodness, you just made all your money. This is the 16th of October. This is the 20th of October right here. This strategy works on this market. You could have made a lot of money on this market just by trading this market correctly, using this strategy. Look at where it came up to. Look at where it turned around right here on the resistance line. Do we have a new resistance line? Absolutely. What are we doing? Do we come down and touch support? Come back up and bounce off of support right here the same way we bounced off of support right here? Right here, support, support. Broke through support, didn't like that. Market turned around and gave us back our better price. Came down. Could you have bought one position here and made your money up here? Absolutely. Should you be waiting for a return to here? Yeah. Great opportunity. Fantastic opportunity to buy right here and then sell again right here and then buy again right here and sell again right here. Now, what contingency do you need to be considering? Well, what about if it goes down to here or down to here or down to here? Here's the zero line. Here's where it can go down to. Here's the true market bottom. Here is the reality of the situation, is it can go to zero and then keep going into nothing. Take all your money with it. If you are planning this opportunity, how much of your portfolio you're planning to allocate as this market comes down to here, to your bottom line. Allocate for zero. And then find out that you spent too much money before you spend any money. It's a great coin and a great strategy for it. Plan the trade, trade the plan, guys. MTL, BTC, metal. Made a lot of money on metal, I can tell you that for sure. Let's not cheat. Made a lot of money on metal because when metal came out, I saw it do this. It came up and did that. Then it came down and did this right here. Then it came up, kind of moved within this range right here, came down and bounced off a support. Here's the previous support line, here's the new support line. Went up, went to there, came down, bounced off of what was previously resistance, now it's support. Went up, bounced off resistance, came down. Went up, went through resistance, came down. Resistance again. Finally, let's say that we came up to here. Came up, broke through resistance, became support. Broke through support, became resistance. Look at that. Look at those pivot lines. So clear. So obvious when you know what you're looking for. Now, what happened later after that? Well, it came down and it broke through support. Support became resistance. Support became resistance right here. Resistance. Resistance. Came down, paused at the support level, busted through support, busted through support. Where did it come down to? What's this line right here? Uh-huh. Support line. Uh-huh. Yeah. This support line right here. Take a look. Follow it on over. Look at that right there. Oh, there she is. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. If you had come down here and bought this right here, you could have sold it all back again right here, bought it all back again down here, sold it all again up here, bought it all back again down here. Where are we now? I think we're very clearly at a new support line. Could you buy one position right here and sell it off somewhere up in here? Let's take a look at the opportunity sizing on that. What is that? Well, I got to tell you that that's 20% right there. I'll take 20% on my money. I'll take 20% and then buy it again, and take 20% and then buy it again, and take 20% and then buy it again, and then buy more of it when it comes down here. Make sure you plan for that. Make sure that you plan for it coming down and down and down and down and down. Find out how much money it's going to take for you to get into this opportunity at the bottom of the market, and make sure that you can keep doing that long after the market continues to sink away from you. LTC. I'm going to do LTC against dollar tether because I like LTC against dollar tether. I'm going to use Bittrex for my exchange. There we go. Again, lots of money that I made in this market this year. LTC, USDT. Let's do Polonix. There we go. We'll get rid of all this stuff. Here we are back in June. Let's just draw some lines really fast. Let's go bam, 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 bam. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Okay. I'd say that's a pretty good start. Could definitely see something right in there. See something right in there. Yeah, I'd say that's all there really... Oh, no, I'd say there's probably something pretty obvious happening right in here. Finally, we probably want something to split this up a little bit. That's all that's really jumping out at me, I'd have to say. So, by now it should be obvious that this strategy would have worked. If you had bought down here, you could have sold up here, bought again, sold it, bought it, sold it, bought it, sold it. Bought it all back, bought more, bought more, bought more. Pay close attention to this motion right here. If you bought it, sold it, bought it all back, did you have enough money to double up, triple up, quadruple up, quadruple up, quadruple up, quadruple up? Plan that trade. See if you did. What if you don't? Well, maybe don't do every line. Maybe we'll do that one. And skip that one. Well, now we don't have to double up so hard, do we? It's a lot easier. Okay. Could you have quadrupled up all the way down here? 1, 2, 3, 4 times? It's pretty easy. Sold it all off here, bought it back here, be selling it off right now, sold it off here, be looking to buy it all back right here, sold it off here. It's a great time to be selling. Or a great time to be buying one position. Because look at where you can go. Look at your downside potential. This is your downside potential that you need to plan for. This is your upside potential that you can create. How much money do you want to make in this market? PIVX, PIVX, BTC. Oh yes, good old PIVX, please. Pretty excited about PIVX myself, but that's just me. Don't take my opinion for it being worth anything. For all I know, I'm just some anonymous dude on the internet with an opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. I don't think you should listen to mine. I think you should make your own opinion. Because what I'm seeing here is a market with pivots. Here is a pivot line. Here is a pivot line. You get a pivot. You get a pivot. Everybody gets a pivot. There are so many great pivots in this market. Look at all the times that the market turned around on these lines historically. Came up and turned around right here. Turned around right here again later on. This was back in, March and April. Back in June and July, it respected that line very carefully. Over here in August, where it turned around on this line and bounced off of this, did it again here, did it again here. Could we see another bounce off of this line, get a return up to here, give you the opportunity to sell out everything that you own, and then buy it all back cheaper? Certainly. What would that look like? Might look like something like this. Could we count on that? No. No. I wish. If I could just tell you that you just buy PIVX and then it would go up on you, I wouldn't have to teach you. I just tell you to buy PIVX and then it would go up on you. Instead, I need to teach you that you need to be ready for this. And then once you make yourself ready for that, for God's sakes, make yourself ready for that. Please, plan that trade on paper. There's no need to find out that you would have lost money doing this the wrong way. Whoa, getting all kinds of crazy there. This is a great market for a pivot. Because this market pivots around these lines all the time. But you need to plan accordingly. Pivot is one thing. Planning is the key. XST. Stealth coin against Bitcoin. You can see I've already got my lines set up in here, but let's draw them anyway. Let's come out to 2017. Let's go back even a little further. Let's take a look at 2016 lines. There's 2016 resistance line right there. Was 2016 resistance line respected in 2017? Oh, yes it was. Look at how often the 2016 resistance line was turned into a support line in 2017. Did it here? It was trying to come down, bounced off of it, finally busted through. Here it became resistance again. Resistance, support. No, we're going to go back to being resistance. Resistance, 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 resist, 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 like Keith Olbermann. And here it became support. Okay, now, find those lines, draw them in there. Where are we today? Well, I tell you, we're right in the market middle. We're right where we need to be. For this thing to come back down and bounce off this line again and then come back up and give us all of our money that we want to make, or it could come down to here. or here where the 0 line is? Did you plan for that opportunity? Did you plan to make your money when it did one of these? You should have. This was your opportunity now created for yourself. Because maybe that's what this market will really do. Is maybe that's really the reality of the situation. Is it's really going to do this for the rest of its life. Okay? Maybe that's reality and you need to plan for it. You need to plan to make all of your money in this market that's never going to go up again long term. Do you see? Maybe it's just going to do this. I don't know. If I knew, I would just tell you to buy it or not to. But can you plan to make all of your money when the market does one of these? Yeah, you can. If you plan accordingly, if you plan ahead, if you know how to plan. And that is planning the trade and trading the plan. You've all been doing a great job with sharing your charts and your plans in the dojo. I hope that you keep that up through tomorrow as we enter into Wednesday, where we take the next major step forward in learning how to plan the trade and trade the plan. Thank you very much, everyone, and good night.